Hello, 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 peace and blessings. So, I'm I'm currently at my workplace. I know I look like a a nun or Muslim right now. I was wearing the headscarf earlier, but I didn't feel like wearing it all day, so I kept taking it on and off, and this is just what I stuck with. I got some interesting stuff going on in my head, but anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is, and nobody asked me this, I just want to answer this for whenever the question does float around, or for even myself when I ask myself this question, because there's like my human self and then there's my higher self. So anyway, the question being, why do you still post on YouTube when you only get a few views per video and like a couple likes? Well, I'll start with the short answer first, and then I'll get into the brain vomit. Short answer is, it is my way of documenting my journey. It's my way of record keeping my life and experiences, thoughts, things I talk about. I don't have any vlogs on this channel, although I have vlogged. Like, I have an Ethiopia vlog on my camera. I have a Bali vlog on my phone and camera. And those were both very sensitive and personal trips and experiences for me. So it's emotional for me to like go back and look at them, but I do want to finally post those. But it's been a year since the Ethiopia one, and about 7 or 8 months since the Bali one. But anyway, yeah, record keeping my life experiences. Yeah, because even if nobody else watches, it's really for myself. It's like a diary entry. It's like a journal entry, which I journal a lot. I've been journaling since I was like consciously, like the first memory I can remember of me like journaling in a diary with a lock. Most of my journals have locks on them. Was around the age of 11, or no, it has to be before that. No, yeah, it was like somewhere from 10 to 12 years old, but I think it was like closer to 10 or 11. But yeah, I've always been a big believer in documenting and time-stamping your life and experiences and thoughts. It's really for the developmental process. So I personally feel like it would be really interesting for me. I'm just talking about myself right now. It will be very interesting for me to look back at these videos in years, but even just months from now, and be like, damn. And then look at where I am in that present moment and just, take note of the progress. But also, I have a strong feeling that at a point in my life in the future, I'm gonna be a known figure, a known person, I don't want to use the word famous, but that's just where I feel like things are headed for me. I feel like that's part of my life's purpose, not to be quote unquote famous or, you know, like notoriety, but and I want to say an inspirational figure, as well as an art piece within my being. So there's that. Think of Doechii. Think of Doechii and how she was vlogging, you know, when she quit her job at Chipotle and when she did her photo shoots and, you know, venting about life and things like that. And, you know, her fans look at those videos now, and there's literally like assessment videos of her whole YouTube channel talking about the core concepts of what Doechii did to manifest her da-da-da-da-da. And I love Doechii. I love that she did that she documented her process. I don't know if she's still doing that, but I think it would be really cool if she still is. It's 2026 right now. But yeah, so anyway, that is my perspective for myself. I do it for myself, and in a lot of the videos that I've posted so far, I'm talking to myself. But at the end of the day, we are all one. So if it resonates, then you can take that and, you know, it might help other people. But at the end of the day, I am doing it for myself. I do it for myself. But I do think others will find it interesting as well if they decide to dive into my YouTube. You know, the thought for me came up that, like, you're not teaching something, well, not necessarily, I guess, kind of, but not in a formatted way. You know, you don't have a course, you don't like, I don't have that many followers on Instagram and other socials, whatever. We are all a work in progress as individuals, but me personally, I don't feel comfortable presenting a course or okay, I want to say I am very accepting of receiving. I receive, but I just don't feel comfortable charging people for when I'm not fully I don't know if committed is the right word, but I know my flaws and I know what I'm working on, and consistency, the way I show up in the external world, and discipline are main core things that I'm working on right now, and it looks like this. And I know it doesn't look like this, or I mean like this, for most people, but I don't feel comfortable, and people can feel that when you're uncertain, when you're not comfortable. Other people feel that, and it's not that I'm insecure or doubt, you know, my ability. I actually believe in myself, and I believe that I can guide people, I can help people heal themselves, I can make people aware, help people raise their consciousness. But I am currently working on this. I'm currently working on this for myself. And I really don't want to rush the process at all. I don't think it's necessary to rush the process. I think if I was ready, I would have had the downloads and I would have had the guidance from spirit to do this and that. I follow a lot of people who I'm inspired by who are doing these things, and I look at how much they charge for stuff, and I'm like, wow, I love how abundant they are, and I want to do that too. But I also have to be mindful of where I'm at, and that everybody's journey and path is different. I actually talked about this in one of my last videos, not comparing yourself to other people. My journey is different. My lessons are different, and the time frames of everything is different for everybody. So I'm not gonna rush. And in addition to that, I'm also just figuring out what even is my channel. I'm still figuring it out, because there's a lot of different things that I want to do, but how do you bring all of that together and make it a coexisting, not even coexisting, like a collaborative, what's the word? How do I make it all mesh together? That's what I'm figuring out. I have been learning the most about myself just in the past couple years, which I felt like a long time, at the same time fast. But in my adolescence and my teen years, I did not have, of course you always learn about yourself, but I didn't have time or the capacity or opportunity to consciously learn about myself and who I am, because I had a traumatic life in that time, and I was focused on protecting myself from a toxic parental relationship, and constantly, long story short, trying to get into foster care, trying to get emancipated. The system failed me, but my whole teenage years, from when I was preteen 11 to 18, that whole time was spent saving myself from what I was experiencing and protecting myself. Anyway, that's not what I want to get into, but so now the past few years, I'm 24 now, 23, I'm turning 24 in September. It's been a lot of, learning about my authenticity and who I really am, my soul and my roots. And yeah, I also grew up with a parent, singular, who was very judgmental of who I feel like I naturally am. So anyway, this is part of the long explanation, right? All that to say that I'm figuring it out, and I am posting for myself, as well as others who are interested and have the capacity to dive deeper into me, rather than what they just see. And when I am up there when I reach like the level of being known, respected, and appreciated, I know there will be people who will appreciate these videos, including myself, including my fucking self. Also, if you didn't hear me mention, I'm a Virgo, so I am a perfectionist. It's like I'm a dysfunctional perfectionist, and I'm trying to find the balance of that and just like yeah, meet in the middle of that. um you know, I have seen people, I have seen creators who are still, you know, figuring it out. They actively say that they're not perfect and that they're going through things. We all go through things, but like people, you know, like really talking about like, you know, they're still like struggling, yet they're selling, you know, courses and products and stuff like that, which is great. I am happy for them, but that's just not me. I can't do that. I can't do that. And healing is a everlasting process. It never ends. We're always healing from something, whether it's super traumatic or just a minor hit, you know. But we're always healing from something. So there's that, and I am aware of that. But I just, discipline wise, I have not reached a place where I am, like I said earlier, comfortable or ready to offer something to people besides sound baths, which I started getting into at the very beginning of this year in January. It's June, end of June now, and I enjoy that. I'm learning about it, and I'm learning about so many other things as well. But I'm just taking my baby steps, you know? So, yeah. That's why I post even when I got only 40 followers on YouTube, and I get 0 to 2 likes per video, and a video where someone commented, "Nobody cares." I don't give a fuck if you don't care. I care. This is for me. Like, I don't even get people like that. Like, actually, I do. I do understand them because they don't have anything better to do. They took the time to click on my video and comment that. Anyway, that's my thought. Food for thought. Full moon is coming. I got some shadow work to do. But yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.